Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Made Podcast. I'm your host, Chloe Trca, and I'm really excited. We're going to be doing a Q&A today. I asked you guys on Instagram questions on regarding anything. It could be fitness, life, nutrition, advice you guys need in certain situations. And you guys asked some questions, and I'm going to go through and answer them as best as I can. Also, too, before I get into this episode, I've gotten so many DMs from you guys asking about my weekend. If you watched the last 2 episodes, I mentioned how I was going to a wedding and how I was really anxious about it and nervous because I'm trying to put myself out of my comfort zone and I'm working on being less of a critic to my own self. And I want to say, happy to announce that the trip was so much fun. It was so amazing. The wedding was beautiful. Was I nervous to dance at first? I was, but by the end, I did dance. I slow danced. I did a little bit of the Trca slide. That was a stepping stone for me. Could I have done better? Absolutely. But you know what? We're getting 1% better every single day. Next wedding, I'll be a little more lenient. I think I had to break the ice. It was a smaller wedding too. None of my friends were I didn't know anyone. So I was proud of myself for how much that I did accomplish. Is there room to improve? Yes, absolutely. But it was so fun. I enjoyed Texas. It was beautiful. The area we stayed in was so nice. And yeah, we conquered a fear. I slow danced in front of people. Anyway, I guess let's just get into the questions. I'm just going to start at the bottom. The first question I want to talk about is how I stay motivated. And the thing with motivation, I've quickly learned is you can't depend on that. Motivation, discipline, your own willpower. It's easy to say I'm a disciplined person, and I am a fairly disciplined person, but nobody can be disciplined 100% of the time. And the little cheat code and what I do when I'm not motivated, I'm not disciplined, is I rely on God. And I actually learned this through the book, The Power to Change. If you guys remember me talking about that, I read it in January. It was the first book I read of the 75 Hard, and it changed my life. It changed so many, gave me so much fresh, new perspectives on changing and creating new habits. And essentially the book was just saying you can't rely on your own willpower and you have to rely on the power of God. And so a lot of the times when I'm struggling or I feel like I'm lacking discipline or I'm going through something hard, I just start praying, and I pray for what I need. If I pray for strength, or I pray for inspiration, or I pray for a breakthrough, I pray for specific things, and God always delivers, and it's always helped me when I'm kind of in a rut. But other things I do too to just help stay motivated and disciplined, because it's in all areas of my life. It's in work, it's in relationships, it's in exercise, it's in eating right, it's in having good routines, it's staying disciplined and having an organized schedule. Every area of your life you have to have some sort of discipline and motivation, or it requires some of that. But I do think one thing that helps me stay on track is setting goals for myself. And I know that's probably pretty simple, and you've probably heard that before. I do truly think that it helps, because when I started running, I signed up for a half marathon because I knew my own discipline probably wouldn't get me through 13 miles because it was something scary. But I knew if I signed up for the half marathon, I would have no other option other than to run, and other than to face my fears of running 8 miles and then 10 miles and then the whole 13.1. Signing up for certain things, setting goals, is such a good way to hold yourself accountable, or doing different challenges to break a habit, the 75 Hard, that helped me break a lot of bad habits. And even just having an accountability partner helps you stay motivated, especially for the gym. If you have someone you always go work out with, chances are you'll give up on yourself, but you won't give up on somebody else. So if there's something that you're really wanting to work on, do it with a friend, do it with a partner, do it with a family member, because it really does help. Because trust me, you'll want better for them than you probably want for yourself. You'll show up for that other person. And that's definitely helpful. Again, too, just creating really good routines to the point where you don't even have to think twice about going to the gym. You just wake up and you go to the gym, or from work, you route your trip home and you stop at the gym, and you just make it such a routine. You don't even think twice about it. It's not really a decision that has to be made. It's just already made. It's already pre-programmed. And that helps everything. Even that's why a lot of people track macros, and it doesn't work for me, but to stay on track, or meal prep, it's already prepared. It's already set up for success. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail, they always say. So being prepared to achieve your goals and to stay, disciplined and organized and stay on track for whatever you're needing that motivation for is key. So preparation, setting out your workout clothes, packing your gym bag, signing up for that half marathon, meal prepping, having an accountability partner, all those things are external motivators that can definitely help. But also, I think above all, just praying about it and talking to God and relying on him to get you through things is my best advice. Let's get into the next question. This person asked, why am I addicted to extra cheesy processed foods? How do I eat cleaner? I'm addicted to that kind of stuff. It's so easy to be addicted to processed foods. You guys, our body naturally gravitates and craves like sugars and carbs and fats because like that's how we can like store calories. Our bodies, like if you think way back in the day, like when we were out there like hunting for our food, our bodies would hold on to that kind of stuff and thrive off of fats and like, I guess just high fat foods and carbs and that kind of stuff because our body was deprived of it. Now we have an overabundance of it. But the thing is, think manufacturers and like these companies who are making these snacks are making them taste better than they should. So they're addictive. Like there are addictive qualities in all of those foods. Like they're made to be addictive. It's nothing wrong with you. It's the way the food is literally created. My biggest piece of advice to break that is to stop buying it. And you have to, again, have that discipline like we just kind of talked about. But you just have to stop buying it. And the thing is too, if you can't do that, just start implementing healthier foods into your diet. So if you eat a pretty poor diet right now, think, okay, say for breakfast you eat a toaster strudel. Okay, that's all you eat, or a Pop-Tart or something. Maybe be like, okay, today I'm gonna throw in like an orange or a banana and like start adding things to your meals that are healthier. And then slowly over time, you'll get more adjusted to those cleaner foods. And then you can start, removing and replacing the Pop-Tart for a protein bar or a piece of almond butter toast or a Kodiak waffle, something like that. But the thing is, just understand, like, it's nothing wrong with you. It's literally how the food's created. But a lot of times, too, our cravings are based on foods and certain macronutrients or micronutrients that we're lacking in our bodies. So when you have a certain craving, it means that you need, like, a specific nutrient. There's a lot of information, a lot of things that you can, like, find online about that. I don't know the specifics, and I don't want to, like, misinform you guys. But, like, it is really fascinating the way the body works. When we're craving one thing, it's because we actually are, like, deprived of a certain food group or something that we need. It's just not necessarily what we think we need. It's not a bag of chips. It's not a candy bar. It's not a pint of ice cream. It's typically like certain micronutrients or like a healthy fat, like almond butter, or, something like that. But a way to eat cleaner is just to slowly implement it into your diet. Next question. Okay, this is actually an interesting question because it's kind of business on like the inside of being like an influencer. How does working with competing companies work, such as Gymshark, TLF, and Young LA? So yes, I work with competing companies as listed. And the thing is with contracts and being on like the influencer side, so there's two different contracts that you can sign, and they're exclusive and non-exclusive contracts. So for example, I'm in an exclusive contract with the supplement company that I'm with, You Can Beam. So I can't work with any competing brands. But for TLF and Gymshark and Young LA, I'm all on non-exclusive contracts. And honestly, it just depends on the company and what you offer. And some of them will offer you an exclusive contract. They'll pay you more. There's higher benefits. But the thing is, like, the opportunities dwindle, if you sign fully with a company. For me, I just haven't felt it to be necessary to sign with a fully exclusive with the company, just because it's clothing. I like to try other companies. Like, I don't only wear Skims, and I don't only wear Abercrombie. I don't only wear like Princess Polly, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just wear one brand of clothing, so I don't want to just wear one brand of activewear. I think it's really cool that I have the opportunity to work with different brands, especially because I feel like they all offer something a little bit different. So for instance, Young LA is more streetwear, it's more gym wear. I don't really go running in the clothes that I wear, Young LA clothes. These are more of my like pump covers, my lounge wear, lifting clothes. And then TLF is more running clothes. It's more functional. Same with Gymshark. Gymshark's kind of coming out with some more like loungewear and stuff as well. TLF is a lot of just like, I would say like hybrid type clothing. And I feel like their styles are all very different as well. So I just think it gives me a variety of what to wear. It gives my followers a variety to see and stuff. But essentially like the business side of it is there's exclusive and non-exclusive, and it's really just like the deals that you work out with the managers that I speak to and then my manager, and just what we think the best decision for both parties is. So when people are only with one company, it's typically because they're in like an exclusive partnership, and that's why they don't post with any other brands, because they literally legally cannot. But I'm not saying I never won't sign fully with like a company. It's just, if it feels right, it does. If it doesn't, then I won't. Okay, this is an interesting question. How do you handle a man who loves God and is so good to you yet is obsessed with sex? I would say that if he loves God, he needs to work on his relationship with God, because that is like, I mean, having sex before marriage is a sin, and having like those desires and stuff isn't necessarily what a man of God should be doing. I guess I actually asked my the guy that I'm seeing right now, because I get a lot of like advice from him, and he helps me with like my relationship with God, and I just like to talk with him about it. I didn't release your name or anything. I just said this was a question and I wanted his input because I wasn't honestly sure how to answer it. But he said either that man isn't fearing of God, which he should be. You should always like fear God, or he isn't disciplined within his faith. And again, we kind of talked about discipline. It's something that honestly, my recommendation would be to pray for him, and not necessarily pray that he isn't obsessed with sex, but pray in the way that you're giving him strength and giving him discipline and giving him like a fresh perspective, because it's definitely something he's battling. If he does have a relationship with God, I'm sure that isn't something he's proud of, and it's not something that he wants for himself. A lot of times that's the enemy working, or something else is going on from that. So honestly, just pray for him, pray with him, talk to him about it, because I just wouldn't say he just needs some prayers. But that's really hard, because obviously like intimacy and stuff is a huge part of relationships, but premarital, in the Christian world and a lot of other religions, but it just gets a little sticky, I don't know. I don't talk about this kind of stuff a lot, but I would just honestly say pray for him, talk to him about it, because he shouldn't be like, I guess, necessarily like accepting of that and being okay with that if he is fully like devoted to God, Anyway, I've lived in AZ for 3 years now. I work out. I don't go out. I don't know how to meet people. Okay, this goes for like anyone in any city. Find something that you enjoy and get immersed in that community. So if you enjoy working out, say you enjoy running, there's so many run clubs I know in Scottsdale and Arizona and stuff that you can join. I know there's run clubs in every big city nowadays. Join a run club. Or if you are Christian, start going to the young adults night. Like, get involved. And it's really hard, but get plugged in to the communities that you enjoy. If you like working out, go to some workout classes at the gym. Like, I go to like the most commercial gym ever. It's an EOS, I don't know how to say it, but there's like workout classes for free. Like, start going to a workout class. You just have to like put yourself out there. It's really uncomfortable making friends, but like you just have to like put yourself in that environment. And honestly, like the best environments are just environments that you enjoy, like the gym or church. Like, those are the two places that I've met all my friends, is through fitness and my church. Best way to balance lifting and running. So I'm very hybrid right now. I would say I alternate. Some people do like a run and a lift. I think that's too much. I think that's a bit like overbearing for my body. It gets overworked and I get exhausted, and it's honestly counterproductive at that point. So I pretty much alternate. I lift one day and then I run the next, and I switch up my runs because I don't want to just go out and run like a few miles. So my split right now is like one full upper body day, or I do like a full body functional HIIT workout, and then I do 2 lower body days. I do like lower body every 3 days. I don't have a super strict, like on this day I do this, and on Tuesdays I do this, and on Wednesdays I do this. I just kind of like based on what I did the day before, and I just listen to my body, because some days I'm like, like the luteal phase is hitting, I'm not going on a run. I'll think of something new. But when I'm like in my follicular phase and I'm ready to go, I'll do a HIIT workout, I'll do more running and stuff. But I do like a speed day or hills. So I'll do like kind of like a segmented run, or I'll go like find a hill and do a hill workout. One day I do like an easy chill run between like 3 to 6 miles. And then the other day I do a long run. So that's about 8 to 12 miles right now. Next question says, how do you not get bored of the same meals? Honestly, I just like hyperfixate over meals, and I crave them and I eat them like back to back to back, but then one day they just don't hit the same. And then fortunately I typically find like a new meal kind of in the midst of that. But one way to not get sick of them is to switch up the sauces and the seasonings. Those do a lot. Like your meat, like you can make like a taco meat, and then you can make like a regular just like salt, pepper, garlic meat, and then you can make one with like, I don't know, marinara sauce. It's all like beef, but like it's 3 different versions of it. and like sauces, like make a teriyaki one, a buffalo one, barbecue one, like for chicken or something, and it literally makes it seem so different. But honestly, I just don't really, I like eat the same thing for like probably 2 or 3 months, and then I kind of move on to the next thing, and it's just how I've always been. I think it's pretty normal for a lot of people, but I've like literally noticed that trait within myself since like early high school, middle school. Like I used to do it with snacks and stuff too. So yeah, I just honestly would recommend switching up like seasonings and spices, because it really does make a big difference for like flavor, boredom, I guess. The next question, what parts of living in Iowa do you miss, if any? Honestly, you guys, believe it or not, really have not missed Iowa much at all. I have to go back the end of May for my cousin's graduation and a wedding. And so I'll be there for a bit, and it will be nice to see family. I feel like once I'm there, I'll be like, oh, like it's nice to be home and stuff. But like I don't miss it. Literally the only thing I miss is my family and my friends. I'm very close with my family, like my extended family as well. So I used to see them often. And so like missing out on just like little gatherings and little dinners and, you know, seeing them here and there. I miss that. I miss going to hang out with my mom and my dad. I used to do that a lot, just like stop over if I had nothing going on that night, or they're very helpful and they would help me out a lot when I had like work things I couldn't like juggle myself. So having that and the proximity, you know, was so nice, and I definitely took it for granted. I don't know if I actually took it for granted. I was very grateful for them always, and I did appreciate the time, because I kind of figured like it wouldn't be like that forever, because I kind of always had an inkling I'd leave Iowa. But other than that, there's not a single thing of that I miss. I was a very different version of myself there, and I've grown so much, and I'm just so much happier with like who I am here in Arizona, that like going back to Iowa kind of puts me back in that like feeling, in that headspace, in that environment of like who I used to be in. I just don't like it. Like it kind of gives me like an uncomfortable, unsettling feeling. Like I'm not too excited to go back. I'm very excited to see my family, celebrate the wedding, celebrate the graduation, but like the week in between those two, not very excited for, I'm not gonna lie. Next question, how do you get closer to God? I have 2 tips on this. Actually 3 tips. 1, start reading your Bible. I know it seems like boring and sometimes it's hard to read. Get a study Bible. It helps so much. But just like immerse yourself in the Word. That has single-handedly made the biggest impact on my relationship with God. And then 2, pray. You need to be in prayer more. My pastor said this in one of his sermons. He's like, you think you're praying, but you're never praying enough. Like you can always be praying more. And I just find myself talking to God more and more and more, and like literally all the time. Like, I feel like that's who, like, instead of talking to myself in my head, I feel like I just talk to God now. And that's definitely helped, because it's like a constant state of mind. And then 3, just like attending services, getting plugged in at your church, starting to serve, going to like a Bible study or like a city group or a young adults night, like getting involved in that way will definitely draw you closer to God, especially too as your community of friends is a godly community. That helps too. Like that is like a very good accountability aspect as well. They'll hold you accountable to going to services and like being a woman of God or being a man of God and doing all that. So those are, I guess that's a lot of tips. How to stop overeating. Honestly, I used to struggle with this because I have a really big appetite, and I feel like after I finish meals, like I would just feel the need to like keep eating. One of my biggest tips is to just get out of the kitchen, just walk away, get your mind off of it, have something to do after your meal. Especially too, if you really struggle with this, maybe like schedule your meal like right before you like have something to go do. You know, like you have a meeting at 1:30, eat your lunch at 1, so you don't have time to just like keep grazing. Just like eat your meal and then stop and move on to the next thing. Also too, like meal prepping and portioning stuff helps a lot as well. Like you just eat your food and then you're done. I feel like my biggest tip is just to like walk out of the kitchen, like go to your bedroom, go on a walk outside, start working on something, even like scroll TikTok, go upstairs in your bedroom and just scroll TikTok and get your mind off of it, because I feel like it's kind of just a habit that we form, the tendency and the cravings to overeat, because our body's like, I feel like it's just kind of hardwired to like want to like eat a lot, but you just have to be more mindful and kind of break that habit. Who's my favorite influencer? I feel like I have a few. My favorite influencer right now is probably Emmy Moore. She's a Christian influencer. She's like a fashion girl. She's Christian. Like, she just is so fun. I love her podcast. And then my other two are the Girls Gone Bible. I love them so much. Like, I don't really even like, it's less of their content. It's mainly just their podcast that I love, but like, I'm obsessed with them. I love them so much. They've really, really impacted me and who I am and like my walk and relationship with God. Outside of Christian influencers, who are my other favorites? I'm trying to think, like, I feel like it's crazy now just to like be in the position that I am. I feel like a lot of influencers are my friends. Like, I feel like most of your favorite influencers are probably like my friends, which is wild. I feel like I have so many friends on social media. So I don't want to like pick a favorite because I feel like I'm picking a favorite friend, and I don't have a favorite friend. I love them all. But I'm trying to think of like higher level extended influencers. One of my OG influencers that like really got me into fitness was Sarah's Day. If you guys know her, she's Australian. I love her. There's this one girl. I love her. I can't ever think of her name. She's Australian as well. She's like a beach sprinter. Her name's Olivia May, and her Instagram like @is omay. She's a beach sprinter in Australia. She's so cute. Her stuff is so good. She loves sunsets. I love watching her stuff. Those are probably my favorite influencers today. I kind of just love everyone I follow. Like, I follow them for a reason because I love their content. Next question. Do I make money off my podcast? On the ads, but it's not a lot. Like, it's pretty minimal. I don't do any like paid promotions. It's honestly just for fun and to chat with you guys. Like, this is kind of like my like soul project or like my passion project. I just love it so much. Like, I make like very minimal money. What do I see myself in 10 years? I see myself happily married in 10 years, I'll be almost 24. Oh my gosh, wait, no. I'm gonna be 24 in a few, I'm losing my mind. What is going on? In a few months, I will be 24 at the end of July. So in 10 years, I will be almost 34. By 34, I hope I'm married and I hope I have a few babies. I don't want to have babies too early. I feel like I'll have like 2, maybe 1 to 2 by then. That's crazy. Yeah, I'll definitely have children, probably like 2. My goal is to have like 3 or 4 kids. I hope by 34, I guess I have like 3. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to go boom, boom, boom with I don't know. Honestly, I'm not too strict on that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not like a super regimented person. I just feel like everything will evolve and, come to in the right timing. But I definitely see myself being married with children in 10 years. Also, I hope and pray. I mean, everything is like within God's plan, but if it was like up to my dream right now and like where I want to be like continue to be like self-employed, doing what I'm doing, but doing more content, just like continuing my life, but just like letting it evolve, like once I have children, making like more fitness, healthy family content, like healthy meals I make for my kids and my babies, and being a mother and like a wife and being like a healthy mother and wife, stuff like that, just like evolving my content and doing what I'm doing now, but just on another level. I also have a project that I'm working on right now. I can't tell you too much, but I think it'd be amazing if that was like blossoming in like a huge deal then. But it's just so unpredictable. It's so unexpected. The only 2 things that I really do pray for is to be happily married with little babies, and like taking them to church and like having a family like who like is so immersed in like our faith and Christianity. That's like so cool. Like, that's really like that is like my main focus right now. And it's so funny because a year ago I was like, don't want kids, don't want to get married. Like, that was just like not even in my mind. Like, that wasn't even like a desire, honestly. Now I'm like fully on like baby TikTok. I have baby fever. Or, like, I like look at weddings and I'm like, oh, it's becoming more real because I just think I'm maturing and I'm growing up and it's becoming more realistic. Like, I swear every single day, you guys, I get on my phone, someone's pregnant or engaged or married. And it's so crazy, but I used to be like, and scared of it. But now I'm like, get excited thinking about that. So it's interesting how my like, I guess perspectives change. What is my best tip for for time managing with the relationship with the Lord, working out, etc.? Make a routine out of it. Make like a structured like plan for everything. Like, every morning I start reading the Bible. If you don't have time to do that before work or school, do it at night before bed. Like, actually plug in time for it. And then just like also too, plug it in throughout the day. Like, pray to him throughout the day. Also play worship music as you're driving or running or doing whatever. Like, keeping that like within your day-to-day like activities is super helpful. Like, it makes a big impact. But also too, like, if you attended like a Bible study, it's typically like on the same day at the same time. Just like make it a priority, plug it in and plan around it, you know? Like same with church on Sundays. Like you know when it is, so just like plan accordingly to it. And then same with the gym and stuff. Like typically like every Sunday, like kind of look at your week ahead and like make a plan for it and just see where you can fit it in. But I mean, number one priority should always be God. Prioritize God and your faith over working out and work and all that kind of stuff. But then again too, it's like you can still make it all fit and all work. Just really get structured and literally get a calendar, get a planner. Like if you have to structure it by the hour, like do that. If you have to wake up at 5 one day because you have Bible study at 6 p.m., like go to the gym early and just do that once a week, you know, like do what you have to do, kind of make that sacrifice, but it's definitely worth it. Okay. Do you ever have cheat meals or cheat days? I do not. I eat very intuitively. I don't really like to just like let loose because I feel like that isn't like a healthy approach and lifestyle. I feel like the way I eat and the way I move is a lifestyle, and I want it to be sustainable each and every day. I don't want it just to be sustainable 5 days of the week or 6 days of the week. So I don't do that. I just, if I want to like indulge in something, I'll do so. And then I just continue on eating and moving the way I typically do. I just feel like cheat meals just can kind of be like a trigger, like a sense of like binging, you know? And I just don't think that's a healthy practice. Okay. And then this said your testimony. I actually decided I'm just going to make a whole episode on my testimony, just because it's not going to fit into this one episode. I have so much to say, but I definitely will do that eventually, when the time I feel like is right and when I have like the right words, I guess. I've been praying about it. I just don't feel like I'm like ready to share it yet, but I'm definitely will be coming within the next like 6 months. And then I'll finish on this one. This is a fun question. How do you get your significant other to be more active / want to exercise with you? I mean, I'm fortunate because both him and I like live very healthy, active lifestyles. Like he's probably healthier than me. We're pretty equally like fit. I probably train more, but it's just because I have more time to do so. My work is less demanding than his. But in the past, that hasn't necessarily been the case. I dated a guy who absolutely did not touch a vegetable with a 10-foot pole, and he would work out, but like he didn't love it the way I did. So we would just kind of do it together. We made it like a bonding experience. Like we go to the gym together, made it fun. If you want to eat better, like start cooking together, like literally make it a time between the two of you guys to like share. That's what me and the guy I'm saying now is doing. Like we cook together and we go to the gym together all the time. We go on runs together. We go on walks together. Like we use that as like our time together, and it's like kind of killing two birds with one stone, quality time, but also like beneficial time. And it's like self-improvement, and you're getting in your workout, you're getting in a healthy meal. But just, I guess, expressing to him as well, just like the importance it is for you, and it's going to make you a better version of yourself, and that's only going to benefit your relationship. They should understand that and respect that, but also to respect that it's like a process and it's a journey for some people, and it's not easy just to step fully in to like a very active fit lifestyle if that's not necessarily how they're living now. And if they're used to always eating bad, you can't just like 360 it and start eating super clean and healthy. So it's a process, and just, you know, do as much as you can to help them. You know, like maybe you do more of the cooking and just help, you know, implement more vegetables into their meals. Or if you guys are trying to pick where to go eat, maybe just like offer up a healthier option. If you typically go to like, I don't know, Panda Express, maybe go to like Chick-fil-A, you know, somewhere where there's like healthier options. But honestly, just communicate the fact that it's important to you, and like you would appreciate if you guys could like work on that together, because I just think everyone would benefit from eating healthy and being fit and active. So it's definitely something that they should prioritize, I think. But if they understand how important it is to you, and considering you're an important person to them, I think that they'll respect that. So yeah. Anyway, that is going to wrap up the Q&A. Whoa, my ice just moved. My fridge just scared me. That's going to wrap up the Q&A. I love y'all so much, and we will chat next week. Bye, guys.